Today's AI signal is that the agent market is building its operations layer. Yesterday, the big question was, how do we supervise agents while they work? Today, the answer is getting more concrete. The next wave is not just agents that complete tasks. It is the infrastructure around them, management, memory, payments, governance, and deployment into real business systems. Start with Fin, the company formerly known as Intercom. Fin announced Operator, an AI agent for customer operations. That sounds almost recursive, an agent that helps manage another agent. But that is exactly why it matters. Once a customer-facing AI agent is handling thousands or millions of conversations, the hard work moves behind the scenes. Someone has to keep the knowledge base current, diagnose bad conversations, propose configuration changes, test them, and decide what goes live. Fin Operator is built for that layer. It can analyze support data, identify why metrics changed, draft updates to help content, debug Fin conversations, build automations, and create proposal-style changes that a human reviews before release. The takeaway is simple. When agents become production systems, you need agents for operations too. The human does not disappear. The human moves into the approval seat. The second signal is Lumetra's Engram, an MCP-native memory layer for AI agents. Memory sounds easy until you try to operate it. If an agent remembers the wrong thing, where did that memory come from? Why did it retrieve one fact and not another? Engram's pitch is auditable recall. Every response can trace back to a stored memory and a knowledge graph edge. It also works through MCP, REST, and SDKs, and lets teams bring their own model. For operators, that is important because long-term memory cannot be a black box. If you want agents to personalize, coordinate, and improve over time, you also need to inspect what they remember and why. The lesson: memory is not just a feature. Memory is infrastructure, and it needs observability. The third signal is WSPN launching W-Agent, a payment skill for autonomous agents. This is more niche, but it points to a real frontier: agentic commerce. If agents are going to buy data, call APIs, pay for compute, or coordinate services, they need payment rails. W-Agent focuses on stablecoin settlement, merchant-side acquiring, spending limits, and human-in-the-loop controls. You do not have to believe every agent will pay with stablecoins to see the operator takeaway. Agents will need permissions around money. They will need limits, receipts, approvals, and audit trails. The moment an agent can transact, governance stops being optional. The fourth signal is Fiserv AgentOS, an agentic AI operating system for banking, launched with collaborators including OpenAI and AWS. Banking is a useful test case because the bar is high. Identity, policy enforcement, traceability, auditability, and human oversight are not nice-to-have features. Fiserv is framing AgentOS as a controlled marketplace and deployment layer for banking agents across servicing, fraud, payments, compliance, reporting, and back-office workflows. That tells us where enterprise agents are headed. Companies do not want a pile of disconnected pilots. They want a governed place to run agents, measure them, and decide which workflows are safe enough to automate. The fifth signal is UiPath's Agent Hack 2026, built around production-ready agentic orchestration. UiPath is inviting builders to use coding agents like Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, and Gemini CLI to build, test, deploy, operate, and govern enterprise automations. That wording matters. The frontier is moving from prototype to production lifecycle. So the operator framework today is this: agents need 5 things around them. A manager, so someone improves the system. Memory, so the agent has continuity. Payment or permission rails, so actions have boundaries. Governance, so regulated workflows can trust the output. And orchestration, so prototypes become operating systems. For builders and business operators, the move is practical. Pick one agent workflow and map its operations layer. Who reviews changes? What does the agent remember? What can it spend or trigger? Where are the logs? How does it graduate from experiment to production? What I would watch next is whether these pieces start connecting. The real value comes when memory, approvals, payments, and observability are not separate dashboards, but part of one operating model. That is when agents stop being isolated tools and start becoming infrastructure. The winners will not just deploy more agents, they will run agents better. That is the shift to watch.